I wanted to do a quick review on the Dimplex Revillusion. This is the 30-inch model, which I have the glass doors on it as well. So those actually add to the surround by another, I don't know, 1.5 inches or so on either side. We were gonna go with the 36 because this is kind of a main wall. You know, our television is mounted up there. But it was thought that, you know, the illusion itself with the added space on either sides of the logs, you know, they do give you a wider log set, but then there's more space in there, I thought would add to, you know, to the, take away from the illusion. The biggest drawback, actually there's two. One, you'll see in the video, the reflection of my feet. But the good thing about the reflection that mitigates that, or that kind of fixes that or addresses that, are the glass doors. So obviously with the glass doors or the glass panel, because you know most gas fireplaces come with the glass panel, that's going to obviously give some expected reflection. So you can see that in the glass doors. Now, if I open the glass doors, you still see the reflection of my feet on the plexiglass in there. So the plexiglass goes all the way from, you know, the mid depth, all the way up and around, you know, in the middle of the logs. The log set itself, you know, I guess there are some logs behind the plexiglass and then some ones in front. And that plexiglass, you can see, and you know, there's my dog right there. You can see the reflection is really bad, especially because you can see I have two windows behind me. So with that, the doors or the glass panel was a must. You know, this comes without the doors. It comes like that, which looks great. It does look really, really great. As long as you don't have light on the opposite room to really show that reflection. That way, you know, you won't see the reflection as much. But again, you know, you put, and we thought the glass doors themselves were, you know, they look great. They really do look great. And that makes it so that any reflection you see, you would assume was from the glass door itself, not from the plexiglass inside. You don't see the plexiglass as much. That's my point. So with that said, when I flick this on, you know, the touch of a button, this is a fully lit room. It's literally high noon. It's 12:05, and the flames are just bright. They're great. The flames are bright. The logs are bright. You do have the brightness setting, which it's on high right now. This is really, really subtle. If I flick it to low, that was the change. Low, high, low, high. So it's not gonna be a major change. It's a very, very subtle change. We just leave it on high. The LED, the digital LED readout does go away after a second, which was a concern of mine too. I thought that was just gonna stay on, which would have, you know, taken away from the realism as well. But as you can see, even with the reflection of the doors, which is what you would expect, the flames look amazing. You know, I'm blown away in person by how real this looks, especially at a glance. It's, you know, their technology is great. This is the setting we prefer. We do not like the lit surrounding. I'll go through that too. So there's white, orange, red, and then back off. Off obviously looks natural. You put the white on and you think, where's that light coming from? You know, what is there, sunshine shining down the chimney chute? You know, it just doesn't, you know, this and this kind of make it so that the flame itself is putting off the light, I guess. But either way, you know, we thought the natural looked best. You know, they have the timer, they got the heater, and we'll talk about that in a second. But we choose to keep the blue light on the bottom And again, you can change that at the touch of a button. Let's see. So it's off, red, which I don't think really makes much sense. And then blue. Blue gives it the effect of a gas fireplace. And that's the thing, is that these logs look like a gas fireplace log set. They do not look like an electric log set because, you know, it's three-dimensional. You know, I can touch the logs right here. You know, there's depth. It's not a flat surface, which is the best thing about this, is that it's actually a 3D depth. So if I turn it off, you know, it looks like a gas fireplace. You know, this looks like a gas fireplace. It does not look like an electric fireplace. So turn it back on. But again, I can't say enough about the pros of this. You know, the down on the bottom, it does look fake. We're gonna grab some, you know, some lava rock or something to sprinkle it down there, but it looks real enough from a distance. But again, that flame technology is just phenomenal. One thing is, we really wish it had a crackle sound. It doesn't. There's aftermarket things you can buy, but again, you know, they're aftermarket. You're gonna have to turn them on separately unless I figure out a way to wire this. But again, I think the doors or the glass pane is a must. It just looks amazing from pretty much any angle. It looks like a real fire. So again, this is a fully lit room, you know, 12:08 now, and it's as bright as can be. Really happy with that. So now the second negative, you know, the plexiglass is the first negative that can be addressed with the glass panels. The second is the heater. So if I were to set, it's very loud. This is not the 220 volt setup. This is the 120 volt setup, the basic setup. So this is the basic heat option, which it does work. It works really well. You know, I can already feel the fan blowing from here. You know, it comes out the top right here. It's nice and warm. It does do the job. But again, it is loud. I don't know if you get that right now, but it is not a quiet heater, or fan rather. I have a call out to them, or an email out to Dimplex, and I'm probably gonna call the vendor and see if they can come out and see if this is normal, or if there's some way to lower that noise. But yeah, it's relatively loud. You know, if you have the TV going or something, you're not really gonna notice it, but you know, if you're just sitting here talking and you want the fireplace going and the heater going in the winter, it's gonna be noisy. So that was a drawback. Again, if you get a 20 or a 220 volt setup, so if you wire this up to a 220 volt circuit, it's apparently gonna be even louder, because that's gonna push more power to it. So, you know, the 120 is, you know, it's nice and warm. It's gonna, you know, this is a pretty standard sized living room, and it's gonna heat up this living room pretty effectively. So, and when you do turn off the heater, what happens is the fan gets louder for some reason for about 60 seconds, and then it cuts off. So by design, the heat shuts off, but the fan runs for another 60 seconds, and then it cuts off. So even if you shut off the fire. Again, you can't have the fire going without, the flames going without the heat. The heat is fully adjustable by the thermostat. The remote works extremely well, no complaints at all. You can set the timer, you know, to run for, you know, an hour, 2 hours, 6 hours, whatever the case is. I believe it goes down to half an hour as well. But bottom line, It just looks great. It looks amazing. It looks like I went out and bought and installed a gas fireplace and just, you know, maybe didn't hook it up. But it looks like I would put this right next to a gas fireplace and it would look the exact same. The depth, everything, it's phenomenal. It looks great. I did remove the decals and the serial number information from the bottom there, because when you did back up and sit down on the couch here, you could see them. But this way you can't see them. Again, that digital readout does go away after a second, which is nice. You can leave the doors open, you know, maybe at night when there's not so much of a reflection off the windows, you know, leave the doors open for a cool effect. You know, we thought the doors were not only a definite required add-on, but they just look great over the glass pane itself, just being able to open it if we wanted. It is expensive. The doors themselves were like another 280 bucks or something like that, but the fan just cut off. But the doors were well worth it. I would at least get the glass pane to get rid of that plexiglass reflection. Yeah, you know, it's a great product. I think it's well worth the cost. The installation was about as easy as can be. I just ran some Romex cable to an outlet, and you know, I didn't buy the $75 adapter plug that they sell separately. I just ran Romex from, you know, piggybacked off the outlet, ran it through the wall, and came back behind the fireplace, you know, and just, you know, got some wing nuts. There were three wing nuts. It took about 15 seconds, you know, and tucked it back in there and put the fireplace in. It mounts with a couple of screws behind the side panels, which are magnetic, which is cool. And that's about it. But yeah, I think it looks amazing. I think it's well worth it. I would 100% get this again. Again, the fan being a little loud is the only negative that that is something we have to kind of deal with. Again, the reflection, the only other negative being the reflection is handled by the glass doors, which every gas fireplace essentially has anyway. So, and then turned off, it just looks great. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will try to be as responsive as possible in the comments section. Let you guys know anything you needed. Again, I wanted to put this review up because I just don't see many reviews up at all, especially you know, some of the web boards and stuff from actual buyers. Not you know, this was not a sponsored video. I'm not a retailer. They did not give this to me for free or for a discount to do a review. This is my honest review to show you. And we did get that herringbone design. I think the concrete just looks just plain. It actually, in my opinion, looks more fake. There's a lot of people that claim that the herringbone looks too green. And I do think that if you turn the surround light on, in real life, you know, not on the video, it is kind of greenish. But, you know, if you go orange or red, it's completely not green. And then if you turn it off, it's not green at all. So I think it looks great. I think it looks very realistic as like heat bricks in a herringbone pattern. And it looks phenomenal. All right, thanks a lot. Let me know if you have any questions.